Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Harry, also known as the Rideshare guy. I've actually been driving for Uber and Lyft since 2014, and I run a blog, podcast, YouTube channel, and video training course for drivers. I just want to give a quick shout out, say thank you to Uberman for allowing me the privilege to give you guys a video guest blog on his channel today. And Uberman was actually the reason why I started my YouTube channel back in the day. So I also have to give a little thanks to him. I don't have nearly as many followers as he does, but channel is growing, and I just want to say thanks for the opportunity. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this video I have for you today. I'm going to answer the question, what to do about a passed out rider in the back of your car, right? So maybe we all haven't had this happen, but when I was first getting started driving, I would have this situation where, I was driving a lot of Friday, Saturday nights during the party hours, right? And a couple times this actually ended up happening to me where I would arrive at the rider's destination and look back there, they're passed out in the back, right? And I'm thinking to myself, all right, what do I do? Honestly, the first few times this happened to me, I thought it was kind of funny. I kind of was like, man, look how drunk this guy is. And one time it was a girl, I was like, man, this chick is so drunk she can't even get out of my car. This guy is literally hunched over in my back seat, laying on the back seat. And, I thought it was sort of this funny, kind of hilarious situation. As I've gotten older, as I've gotten a little wiser though, I've started to realize that it's actually kind of a risky situation for drivers. And this specific situation may not ever happen to you, but there are a lot of these types of situations that you're not going to get any training for. And how you handle them sort of on the fly is really important. And on my channel, I like to answer a lot of questions that I get from my readers. Most of them have happened to me while I'm out driving, but for the ones that don't, it's smart to think about, hey, if this happens to me while I'm driving, how am I going to handle it? A lot of it usually boils down to common sense, but I want you guys to kind of really understand the way that you're thinking, because now that you're a business owner, right, now that you're doing this, you don't always have someone you can call up at a moment's notice and say, how do I handle this, right? You need to be able to figure it out on your own, right? So if you guys drive long enough during the party hours, you might encounter a rider that is so damn drunk they can't wake up when you get to their destination, right? Now, ideally, you'll kind of spot these clowns before they even get into your car, right? If they're stumbling on their way into your car, if they can't drop the pin and they're like 6 blocks away from where they said they were and you can't find them for 10 or 20 minutes, those are all signs you should probably avoid those passengers if at all possible. Avoid this situation in the first place. But let's say you can't. They look totally normal. Then you realize after they get in and you're driving them around that they're totally wasted and they pass out. You arrive at the destination and they won't wake up, right? So the first step that I would recommend is do everything you can verbally to wake them, right? So you're going to want to talk to them, maybe raise your voice a little bit, maybe yell at them, turn the music all the way up, right? Drive around the block with the windows down. Obviously, it's probably going to be late at night, probably cold. Maybe get out, open, slam the doors, get a little payback, for all those riders who slam the doors on you, and then try to wake them that way, right? So these are all going to be kind of verbal cues. You're really, I think you really want to do everything you can to avoid physically touching them. I mean, especially if you're a male driver and you have a female passenger, that's kind of like the situation you want to avoid. Fortunately for me, the riders have all woken up in these situations, either from, blasting the music or raising my voice or even getting out, opening the door, kind of, that fresh air tends to wake them up. So, but if you can't wake your rider through one of those verbal commands, what do you do? So I know that I've talked to a few drivers about this. A few situations have come up and, there's lots of different things you could do, but I think kind of like I said, it boils down to using common sense, right? One passenger had their phone out and the driver couldn't wake them up from all these verbal cues. So the driver actually grabbed the phone and looked through their call history and called the last 2 or 3 people. One of them ended up being a boyfriend or a friend or something like that. And they were actually inside. So they came out and got him. That was kind of a smart thing to do. Another driver saw that the destination, right? They knew that they were at the destination and it was a house. So he went up and knocked on the door. Now, it might be a little awkward at 3 a.m. when you're dropping someone off and, maybe you're going to their parents' house or boyfriend or girlfriend or friend or roommate, whatever it might be. And you walk up to them and say, hey, dude, I have this drunk guy. I think you know him. That situation might be a little awkward. But, hey, at least you can do it and get it done. And then another driver actually drove back to the bar where they picked them up, and it was a young lady, and actually asked the bartender about her, and her friend happened to still be there at the bar. So that was kind of a good situation where he was actually able to go ahead and see the friend. So I think if you really end up in this situation, you really just want to, it sort of boils back down to that common sense, right? think about the worst case situation, right? That you have a woman, a young lady in the back, and she wakes up and sees you dragging her out of the car, right? The optics of that don't look good, right? What is she going to think? I mean, I really can't stress enough that I think how important dash cams are. You guys, you may not know, but I actually use and recommend the Falcon 360. I know it's not perfect, but I think it's one of the best cams out there at that price point. I know Uberman has a lot of videos on his channel about dash cam reviews, and he's got some really good ones out there. So definitely check those out. But even if you're going to just get a cheap two-way dash cam, get something that can record potential incidents, because as long as you're in the right and as long as you're trying to do the right thing, it's going to be very difficult, not impossible, but difficult for you to get in trouble or for you to be falsely accused. So, think of it as a cheap insurance policy. So ultimately, though, if you do find yourself in this type of situation, you want to take a little time and assess things, right? Because it's not just a passed out rider. It's every situation that, like this that can happen, right? Take some time, assess things, right? What is a smart move, right? As a last resort, you could obviously call the police or at least some type of authority figure. Let's say you end up deciding, hey, I'm going to pull this person out of my car. Maybe you try to wake them at a local gas station. You ask the attendant, hey, just come out. I have this drunk rider. I just want you to be there as a witness, just to see me pull him out. I'm not trying to do anything shady, right? Think about it in a smart way, right? Obviously, the last thing you want to do is drag your passenger out of the car, though, at 3 a.m. and leave them lying there on the side of the road, right? Even though some passengers probably deserve it, don't do that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I would love to hear your take. If this has happened to you, how did you handle this situation? And how do you think you could have handled it better, right? Because that's the important thing, right? You always want to be thinking about these situations and also how you can do better the next time, right? Kind of like how I talked about, hey, maybe proactively you want to avoid this situation in the first place, avoid drunk riders in the first place by seeing if they're stumbling or whatever it might be. If you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them below. I'll try to respond to all the comments I see for the first week or two that this video is up on Randy's channel. And after that, if you have any questions at all about this situation or just how to handle anything in general, head over to my channel. You can find it at therideshareguy.com/YouTube or just search YouTube for The Rideshare Guy. Hopefully it'll pop up. And we can leave a link in the show notes below. Definitely don't hesitate to reach out to me. I love to hear from drivers and whatever kind of tough situations you have. I'm here to help, just like Uberman. So thanks again to Randy for letting me post on his channel. Look forward to hearing from you guys soon. Take care.